Hi all! In this video we'll look at the basics of working with Openshift connection, building and deploying applications. Our zero step is to make Openshift Origin instance up and running. We will use the easiest way to do this, in my opinion. So we are going to GitHub release page of Openshift Origin, choose the version you want, and download the archive of Openshift Origin client tools that is suitable for your operation system. Then you need to extract the archive, and that is what you find inside. So let's go to the terminal and try to run this OC binary. Here we are. And what we need to do is OC cluster up. Here we see a message complaining that we need to add the following IP to the insecure registries for our Docker daemon. We can do this the following way. Let's copy this thing, open new terminal window. We firstly stop the Docker service, Docker stop. And then we run Docker daemon with the specified key. Now it is ready, and we can now run OC cluster up once again. We need to wait a bit. And now our Openshift connection is almost ready. So here it is. We can see the link to the connection. Let's copy it. And you can see user, developer, and password, also developer. Let's go to Eclipse and create a new connection. We click on New Connection Wizard, paste our copied IP here, and choose basic method of authentication, and type here developer, as it is said in our terminal. Finish. You see that a new connection is created, and an initial project is created too. Let's try to add an application to our project. We click on the project, new, application. Here we see the list of available templates, and let's choose Python latest template. You can see here the URL of the repository which will be used for the application, but let's clone it in order to be able to make changes in it and to commit them to our own fork. So we click fork. Yes, it's me. Now we have our clone. Let's copy this link and use it while creating our application. So only the username has changed. Let's leave everything as it is. Next, 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 finish. We can see now the resources that have been created. Here Eclipse asks us about the destination which will be used to clone the application, which will be further inputted into Eclipse as an application. Here you can see it. As soon as we inputted and created new application, you can see that Python service was created and the build is currently running. What is very useful is that we can see the build log. We can right click on the build and click build log. A console view is opened and here we can see the output. The same thing you can see in the web console. You can open web console. We are here the first time, so we need to type the password and the username. Logs. And here is exactly the same log that we have in our Eclipse. It is synchronized immediately between the web console and the Eclipse. We need to wait a bit till the build is finished. Well, the build is finished. We can see the message here, push successful. And as soon as the build has finished, we can see that new pod is created and running. Now we can click on the service and show it in web browser. You can see that is exactly the application that is built from the project. Let's now try to change something. We'll try to change this index.html page. We can find it under welcome, templates, welcome index.html. Let's change the first message, welcome to your Django application of Openshift, and add, for example, hi all. We click save, and now we'll commit it and push. Add to index and just test message. Commit and push. The changed file is committed and pushed, and now we need to launch the build on the Openshift server. To do this, we can go to the properties of the service, choose build configs, right click on the build config which we want to start, and click start the build. And we can see that the build is running. We need to wait while the build is finished. Let's wait a bit. As soon as the build finished, we can see that one more pod is created. And the old one is deleted. And now, as soon as the build finished, deployment is started automatically on the Openshift server. That's why we can just update our page and can see that our change is okay. Built-in application each time is not very comfortable. That's why you can create the server adapter that allows you incremental deployment of applications directly into the deployed pods on Openshift. To do this, we click on the service and create server adapter. Here we leave everything as it is and click finish. You can see that a new server adapter is running and ready. Servers. And now every changes will be deployed to the pod just on the fly. Let's try this. We go again to index.html, add something else. For example, hi all my friends. We click save. And as soon as we clicked save, you can see that send an incremental file list index.html is deployed to the Openshift server, and we can just update our page. And here are our changes. Some more things that I want to show you is that everything is synchronized between Eclipse and Web Console. Let's go to Web Console, to this pod running. We'll go to overview page and try to scale up the pod. You can see that 2 pods are running. And we can see that 2 pods are created here. You don't need to refresh the connection or the project. Everything is just ready on the fly. The same is for all other operations. For example, you can go to builds, choose the build config, and click start build. And here you can see immediately that a new build is running. So here it is all for today. If you have any questions, please leave them below this video or use any of the means of communication described to ask your questions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.